Hey everyone, rckts here, and today I have some pretty solid gameplay for you. You'll see I go 7-0 to start the game, and then I make a really Bush League mistake with the sword, and that kind of sucks. I have some really cool kills, like that one right there. He kind of shot me into his head, which was kind of nice. Very, very polite of him. Do have a couple no scopes in this game, so I don't usually no scope. So it's nice to see me do this. I don't even know how I got that kill right there, to be honest. That snapshot. I think it ricocheted. I can't really slow it down enough to see. But anyway, I want to get into the topic of discussion for today. This is kind of a long video. Sorry about that. It is hard for me to make videos as of late because my Elgato game capture software is just processing so slow. I don't know why all of a sudden it just decided to slow down. There's so much. But anyway, like I was saying, sorry, I just so many things to think about, so many things to talk to you about. So anyway, yes, we date who we think we deserve to date. Now, what do I mean by this? One of my friends actually recently told me this, and she, for lack of a better term or better statement, does not have very high views of herself, not high self-worth or self-value, and I feel like that's a pretty I don't know about common problem today, but I've been told in women in particular more than men, this is apparent, or this problem is apparent. So it did get me thinking, though. It made me think, because I've been told before, you know, we date people of equalish attraction or appearance, physical attraction levels, maybe we'll say. But I don't know. I don't believe that one in particular, just because you just have to be attracted to somebody. They don't have to be attracted to everybody else. You know what I mean? So that really doesn't matter. Here's the Bush League mistake. That kills me. I don't know. I don't know about the physical attraction part, but this who we think we deserve part, it really it gets you thinking, because you know, if you have very high self-esteem, if you have very high standards, then you think you are worth somebody who has or who meets these very high standards. You won't slack on these standards in particular. Not that your standards are actually worth anything, sorry to say that, but they kind of aren't. They're worth a lot to you, but not necessarily to anybody else, and that's just a fact of life. I mean, you don't want to force your opinions down other people's throats. That's how we start a lot of internet wars. But even so, let's say I took a hit from my teammate right there. I really thought they could get the kill, and they don't. That's really heartbreaking. Let's say, for instance, I, rckts, have a very high view of my appearance, and therefore I think that this girl that I'm going to date should be seen as attractive by today's standards, by X amount of people. And so if she's not attractive to X amount of people, I will not date her. And I mean, sure, I think in the back of our minds we may think that, which, I don't know, I just, like I said before, it's thought-provoking, but it's not something that you actually bring up in conversation. We don't really want to talk about how, not mean, I don't want to say mean, because we're not necessarily mean, but self-righteous maybe, or just, I don't know, we think more highly of ourselves than of others. And that's also apparent in our mindset. I talked about this in another video, how you value your own opinions more than you value others. And actually, conveniently enough, that was the video about high self-esteem, or low self-esteem in particular. So it's true, though, we value our own opinions more of others, or more than others. So if we think someone is smart, or if we think someone is pretty, that's gonna mean more than everyone else's opinion. However, theoretically, and I would like to know numbers, or like to know a limit here, our value, or our own opinions, going back to that X, going back to math, because I like math, our own opinions are worth X. So if each person's opinions are then worth Y, how does Y correlate to X? Is Y 1/100th of X? Is Y 1/1000th of X? How many people does it take to equal one of your own opinions? One opinions can purchase how many of other opinions? It's weird to think about, but it's true. Take a second to think of how much you actually value other people's opinions. And I know that other people, in particular, like say your family or your really close friends, may be worth more than others. There's another sniper kill where I got shot and I just happened to hit him in the head again. So I mean, take a look at the people around you. Take a look at the people you surround yourself in life, and think about how much you actually value their opinions. If you don't value their opinions much, perhaps you shouldn't be hanging out with them, because there's obviously something wrong. You may not actually be friends. I don't know. But that's a topic for another day. If you do value their opinions a lot, then think of how that actually has affected your relationship decisions in the past. Perhaps one of your friends have actually convinced you to date a girl. I know that has happened to me before. A few times actually. I've dated someone that my friend was like, "Oh, dude, you should get together. That'd be cool." So I think that's a good sign, because I think that means that I value their opinion. However, that also means that I then force their values or their ideals upon myself, linking it back into where we started with here. Because we date people who, or we are attracted to people who we think we deserve or who we think are equivalents to us, that means that if my friend, whose opinion I therefore value equally as much as mine, or maybe more so at that moment, or maybe just under mine at that moment, sorry about the squeaking in the background if you can hear that, I took his opinions, I took his feelings, I took his worth and equated it with myself, which again is a good thing, because people are equal and you should value other people's opinions. However, I think that relationships are something serious. You know, when you're young, it's fine. When you're young, you don't have to worry too much about just getting, I don't know, stuck with somebody that you don't want to be with for a long time, because chances are you're not going to be with them for a long time anyway. It's just a fact of life. It's very hard to stick with somebody who you meet at a young age. You mature differently, you age differently, you have different values as you grow. So, and you may feel differently about your worth as you grow too. I mean, this is just, I don't know, you change, value changes. It's just like money, it's a currency. Your value is a currency, and your self-value is an important currency in that matter, or for that matter. And so all currency fluctuates in value, and therefore your view of yourself fluctuates in value. You know, maybe some days you think you're king or queen of the world, and some days you think you're just a little peasant or something, to use internet terminology, peasants. I don't know. It's really weird to think about that. If you've been with multiple people now in your lifetime, in your place, if you've dated multiple people, or if you've associated yourself with multiple people, try and think about the value or the reasons why you actually appreciated them or liked them, and think about what that says about you. Maybe you liked them for the way they did something in particular, the way they acted in certain situations, and maybe you don't actually want to associate with that at this point in time, or maybe you did at one point. You know, maybe at some point in time you wanted to be a giant green rage monster / the Hulk, and so you dated somebody who resembled the Hulk or had a mental issue with rage, a brute or something, you know, like, I don't know. Just trying to make this as light humor as possible. I know this is a pretty rough subject. I'm sorry about that. But I really want people to think about themselves. I didn't really do a self-help video on Monday, and I'm really going for the three-peat this week. Just 3 days, I think, would be optimal. It gives me more time to think about it. Plus, like I said, the Elgato's acting up. So, not trying to change my value at all for my videos, not trying to say that they're worth more or anything, but I want to provide the quality for you. We are in this relationship, and I feel that it deserves this attention. See, there we go. I just love tying these things together. Works out very nicely. I don't want you to think that I'm trying to say that all of your decisions are bad, or all of your exes or your ex-friends have been bad mistakes, or maybe I don't know, maybe you did have a value change and you think that you're better than them. I don't know your life, but try and think that maybe if that was the case, maybe you should talk to them, or think about if you really are worth more than them, or if that is the reason that you stopped becoming friends with them. And maybe think about that in life, you know, just like, is that okay? Is that something that you want to continue doing? Because in my opinion, we're all worth a lot. A lot. The human life is worth a lot in general, and we can all do good at different things, so we're all, I don't know, I don't think it's very easily compared. Anyway, friends, if you like this video, don't forget to like, favorite, comment, and subscribe. Shadow Rockets out.